mistake for someone to just take that whole win, you know. All right, here we go. We got a divergence right off the bat. We got a small key in the sanctuary, and we got 300 rupees in Link's house. That's a nice find right off the bat. So I generally would assume Houlihan is dead at this point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good assumption to make just generally.
A safe assumption, but we'll see. We had a quick map check from Furaime. I saw at least a crystal at Eastern. That was about it. Oh, wow.
Oh,
now that's a good find. Did you see that? We got bombs in the tier 1 tree pool. That's nice.
Everything's working out for Gerdo here. Grabbing money, grabbing some bombs. Now let's grab a lamp and a sword in here, maybe? Alright, a power glove.
That's a good find. Alright, can he keep it up, though? That's the real question.
I mean, usually if you find a lot of helpful items early on, it starts getting trolly real soon. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, Houlihan is dead, definitely. I also want to talk on Furaime's side. We got... I think that was just a capacity upgrade in the Lumberjack Cave, but let's talk about the seed. We got tier 1 tree pull is bombs, so we got an instant 4 bombs every time. The bush crab are red rupees, so we're set. We're set on like inventory for now.
Yeah, these guys are looking pretty good. I mean, Furaime has $100, enough to pay off the bottle vendor exactly. He's got 4 bombs, so he's not going to be worried about. He's definitely worried about that 20.
Some more bombs in the back of Escape, as well as the red boomerang and the dungeon map, which lets us know that that middle chest, the sewer chest, a lot of people's least favorite item, or like chest at the beginning of the game, does have an item, so something to remember for the future.
Yeah, we might not see Gerdo come back to that Dark Sewers chest anytime soon. I mean, obviously they first would like the lamp, even though I'm sure both of these guys can do dark rooms just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just an out-of-the-way, like a really out-of-the-way spot.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a fun one. Unless they're doing the Hyrule plus Death War plus sewer check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, worth noting that Tower of Hera is the blue pendant, while Desert Palace is the green pendant. So 2 pendants in the light world, and I don't know about you, Herfy, but what does that usually kind of tell you about the seed, potentially?
Let me think for a second here.
It's a thing. It's a popular thing that everyone wants.
Yeah, I'm getting a vague idea, maybe. It's sort of like a stool kind of thing, maybe? Something that, helps you get up a little further, potentially?
I think you're hinting at something, but I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, we shall see if they find this mysterious location.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and find out. As far as I know, it means nothing, but... Anyway, we got game audio. We got bottom of the well. I don't think we got anything really of value in Blind's basement. We did get a mushroom on Furaime's side. Now, we've asked the runners before, and a lot of times runners are just like, whatever. Whatever you think my name is, go for it. Do you know what is it? Furaime? Furaime?
I think I've had this conversation with... I definitely had this conversation with Ruble yesterday when I was commentating these two, and I definitely had this conversation...
His name is easy to remember. Ruble's pretty basic.
Yeah, Ruble is kind of one you can sort of get right with a...
The name. Not the person. Ruble is a very complicated person. Very complicated individual.
Very complex, yeah.
Very complex character. I guess it really doesn't matter, as long as we're not... Anyway, I'll shut up. Sword in the back of town. And we got Blue Tunic in the Chicken Hut. So far, Kakariko holding some nice stuff, but no real, crazy progression like the gloves in the back of, or in the secret passageway. Fuzroda? No, that's not right.
That's a little wrong.
It's a little wrong. When's that Skyrim tournament starting? I heard there was one starting up pretty soon.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a Skyrim tournament. Or speedrun, for that matter.
Interesting option from Furaime, going straight for the maze race as opposed to, you know, checking it and then bailing. I think it's just a difference of seconds, I guess.
Yeah, it's not a huge difference, but you know, you kind of want to make every second count, basically.
So for those wondering, the boost sprite, which Furaime is using, the highlight or like outline of the boo changed from green to blue. Very, very minimal, but still noticeable. And I gotta point out, I really love this move that they're using to fake flipper to the whirlpool to turn in the mushroom early.
Yeah, I like this play. I mean, you got it real early. With the glove that g3rd0 already has, he could theoretically get there, so it's not even really a sequence break.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is, if g3rd0 does a similar routing option, he could even go all the way to Zora and check what's on the ledge. He has the rupees, but at the same time, it's not always the most efficient play.
And this Ruble is pointing out in chat, I think it's pretty interesting that g3rd0 just bought bombs.
Yeah, didn't he have, like... I feel like he still had plenty, but...
He certainly did, but I guess he doesn't want to run out, but not to miss out on the lamp that Furaime just got from the mushroom turn-in, so that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that suddenly tells you, hey, sewer chest, maybe? Question mark? And it looks like Furaime is going to be going to get the glove next, and another 300. I was looking to check the tree pull, but something didn't work out quite right that time. Usually it's like if... Well, usually it does that if you just didn't set it up at all. Like you didn't kill anything first beforehand, or you killed something, took damage, and then left the screen, maybe? Not 100% sure. But we'll be seeing the dam area next, and probably a trip from g3rd0 over to Mini Moldorm Cave. We're still a little early in the seed to kind of have any sort of, like, potential ideas of where the next big play is going to be, the next big progression item. We still have a lot of Overworld to check, a lot of this quote-unquote Sphere Zero locations.
And really, I mean, the lamp is pretty good, and the power glove is obviously pretty good, even though it's pretty bad. But them finding this early sword is probably quite enjoyable, I'd call it.
Yeah, the only scary thing about that is they're just one cape or one sword away from Aga. Not that anyone would do that without, like, the Moon Pearl, but we have seen the rare Moon Pearl on Pyramid before.
It can definitely happen.
Oh look, g3rd0, there's your bombs. No.
Uh-oh.
Oh, speaking of... Hey, that's
okay.
Oh,
okay.
there we go. All right. That is huge. That is so many items. I don't think I'm... Okay, so basically, Paradox and Hype Cave are pretty much going to be dead, because all the hype was saved for that cave right there.
Yeah, at this point, I'd say this might be the new Hype Cave, at least for this seed.
Yeah, with Cape and Sword, he doesn't have the lamp yet, so he has no reason to go do Aga yet. But with that flute in hand, he'll probably take a quick trip straight to the Witch's Hut, which will save him a little bit of time over the routing choice that Furaime did.
Do you think we'll see him make a trip up to Death Mountain with the flute in hand now?
Yeah, it's also a good option.
I mean, he can't check a whole lot right now, but 2 items, maybe 3 if he gets the old man from the dark room.
True. Well, it's interesting because by the logic, you have the glove, you have the lamp, they might want you to go up to Death Mountain to get the next progression item, but now g3rd0 has skipped the requirement of that lamp to go up to Death Mountain, so... But who knows, maybe the logic requires you to save the old man, maybe the old man has the next progression. Looks like g3rd0 is opting to go straight for Ice Rod Cave, one of those locations that players often gamble early, but when you have the flute, there's no reason not to go check it right away.
Yeah, this is probably the quickest way you can get here, unless you manage to find boots in Mini Moldorm Cave or something.
And it looks like we'll be seeing that sewer chest from Furaime, so as far as I could tell, there was nothing of value really in Hyrule Castle. Let's hope that he gets bailed out with something good, like a second sword at this point. Would probably be a good item to get. Nothing that gives you huge progression, but does help you out.
That second sword might lead him to Aga, though, which could be a curse or a blessing. We don't really quite know yet.
I can't imagine anyone would make that gamble this early. Oh, it's just a heart piece. Well, g3rd0 is picking up their lamp, so what is the next big place for these players?
Oh, looks like a fake flipper up to Zora now with the Moon Pearl in hand and the money as well.
That looks like a perfect option for me. You have that Moon Pearl, so you can set up the Water Walk to go check the Waterfall Ferry, check Hobo, check Zora, check Zora's Ledge, check Lake Hylia Island. It's a lot of information, a lot of items to check all in one go. And it is a sequence break, so it also kind of gives you a little bit of information about how the rest of the seed might play out.
Yeah, and at this point, they're really kind of looking for that one item, which should be the hammer or the Titansmiths, I guess, to get Dark World access and skip out on that Aga 1 fight.
Nothing from the Hobo. Yeah, what is it going to be? Is it going to be hammer or Titanmiths? Because those items could very well be in the Dark World somewhere, thus forcing an Aga dip, an Aga dive, an Aga Ascension.
Aga Ascension, I like that.
Oh, this is a very interesting play from Furaime. Go for the Agnes Cave check, as opposed to going to Mini Moldorm Cave. It's a long ways just to check two items, the Desert Ledge and the one up here. But it is also one of those kind of gambles that if it pays off big, because oftentimes the other, players don't check this. But if it's nothing, it doesn't lose you too much time, because he'll probably go straight down and back to Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, and I'm especially glad for Furaime to check the ledge item on Desert today, because he left the silver arrows there yesterday.
Oh no, that's a rough one to miss.
Yeah, thankfully he picked up Tempered Sword over g3rd0 and managed to, well, save for the fall that g3rd0 sadly had to do, but managed to save some time there and make his Ganon fight not awful.
Alright, so far, nothing of value really for either player at this point with these new sections. Maybe Zora will have the answer. I don't know, man. It's gotta be Death Mountain. It's gotta be. Probably not.
I think in the daily open that just a heart container. What I was gonna say, the daily open that I was commentating had Moon Pearl and Checkerboard Cave, which I had never seen before.
I love that. That's one of my favorites. I really enjoy that one. And I'm also a victim of forgetting about that. It's like, oh, cool. I have flute. I just got mitts. I don't have Moon Pearl. What can I do? Also, interesting play from Furaime, skipping out a Mini Moldorm Cave to go straight up to Death Mountain. It's new information for us, as g3rd0 is going to be going through Hyrule Castle, which we've already seen. So we will find out if the next progression item is up here. Otherwise, it's going to have to be either Aga Tower, Sahasrara Eastern. I think those are our only other options.
Yeah, there's not too much left in the light world for these guys.
And just a bomb capacity upgrade. It's like our second one we've gotten so far, I think. Ooh, Furaime's got to be careful. Those boulders do a lot of damage, even to a ghost.
Yeah, especially a ghost with a red mail, which I'm still a little bit confused about.
Well, the reason why he didn't even check to see what it was is because more than likely going to save and quit regardless. Alrighty, well, that's got to be a trip to Mini Moldorm Cave, and he's going to be probably a little upset with himself when he finds out what's waiting for him in there.
Yeah, today definitely not a good location to check late.
Yeah. But fortunately, depending on how Furaime route, what the next routing options they take, if they go like straight to Eastern after they get the flute, they could even things up. Gerdo's setting up the Death Warp. We'll be checking that sewer chest as well. A little obnoxious with the blue mail, but even more obnoxious with the red mail.
Oh, man.
He was like, I'll do bombs. Oh, wait. Yeah, because I think with red mail, bombs only do quarter damage.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to half with blue and full with heart. I think, something like that. And Furaime picking up their cape, their flute, and their moon pearl. What? Herfy, what's happening?
Don't listen to these guys. These guys are crazy.
I'd ask questions, but... So that's not how it works.
It's, well... It's a thing that happens.
Okay,
It's really all I can say to that.
Anyway, moving on. Furaime is about to go activate that flute. That's all there is to say about that. Let's see what their routing option is going to be next. Gerda's going to be making their way up to Death Mountain, which we've already seen all these items, so depending on Furaime's next move, they could still even things up.
Yeah, at this point... Like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it.
I was just saying, I'm thinking Furaime is probably going to check Zora as well. With all that money that they've got.
Yeah, and it is a lot of items. You know, it's a little timely, like, but at the same time, it's, you know, potentially all of Eastern except for Armos, Sahasrahla. Sahasrahla's hut is usually a good play, but if you're gonna walk up to Sahasrahla's hut, you might as well go all the way to Eastern as well. All right, man. Something's got to give. I mean, here's the thing. Even if they do Aga Tower, what can they do? They can go to Catfish. They can check the pyramid. They can go to Catfish. They can go to Pod. That's it.
Yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. And if you weren't Willard J. Bradley, and if you were instead Ruble, you would be hoping that Catfish has what we need.
All right. I could also hope that Catfish has what we need.
Yeah, you can.
I don't have to not be included.
No, that's not what I meant. That was more...
I mean, it's kind of rude, if you think about it.
I'm very sorry.
Do you want Ruble to step in? Because I can get Ruble to step in.
No, come on, listen. I was taking a dig at Ruble. That's all that was.
Well, you hurt someone else in the process too.
I know, and I apologize profusely.
All right, we're going to find out what's in the back of the hospital side. We got 3 items right here. What are they going to be? 50 rupees, the other boomerang, and a heart piece. Lovely.
No progression.
Nothing at all. So either we're going to find a hammer, we're going to find a bow, or at this point, you know, if they find like a hook shot in Eastern, then that's... You could just save and quit right out of there and head straight to Aga, because that would get you to the west part of the Dark World.
It would also get you to the east part of Death Mountain, though.
That's a better idea. That is correct. Good idea.
I think
I was playing, I'd go straight to Aga and be like, oh man, I'm so smart, I'm going to go to the west side of Dark World. And then find, you know, Hammer and then Mitz are like on Death Mountain, East Death Mountain.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'd do. Alright, so let's see what Eastern has for us. We're coming up on our first chest here. 50 bucks, even more money. I'm liking all this even money here. We're having 200 and 800. I'm liking this.
It's pretty nice. Very satisfying to look at. Also interesting that Furaime decided to opt out of continuing the water walk just to be safe. You could save a little time because you could walk on water. So you could just walk straight to Zora. But if you take a hit, then all of a sudden it's kind of... gets a little dicey. But here's the thing, I mean, despite not finding anything, Furaime's not that far behind, and they also checked, desert as well. The desert area.
Yeah, very true. I mean, their only option left at this point is also going to Eastern to Astrala's hut. I'm curious to see if g3rd0 is going to check over in the desert area, assuming he's not going to find anything in here.
It's one of those things where it's like, all right, what if I go do Aga Tower, but the item I needed was in Agah's cave?
Yeah, it's
Well, this is gross. So Armless Knights are gonna be holding an item. So these players will have to come back here for this. Now, the nice thing is, because they have this lamp, this next chest they're about to get, and potentially even Armos, will be in the logic.
Yeah, absolutely. No sequence breaks from these guys. I mean, say for the fake flippers that we've seen that led to absolutely nothing.
Alright, moment of truth. What's it gonna be? Progression? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Ether Medallion. Aga Tower. Catfish. Pod? Yeah. But it looks like g3rd0 is gonna go check that desert area. It's just not worth it. It's not worth not checking.
Yeah. You don't want to make that Aga gamble and then later on find out, oh, okay, I could have skipped all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The only upside here is that at least now they do have the Ether Medallion, or Furaime will, once he gets Sun with Eastern, for that Aga Tower. Because just using Fighter Sword and basically having nothing but Fighter Sword and boomerangs, I guess, that makes that very painful.
And with both players going to be checking, like, full clearing everything that they could possibly do in the seed prior to going to Aga, it's going to be pretty close. g3rd0 got, like, a minute or two lead, maybe 3, depending on how much longer it takes Furaime to finish out Eastern. And the worst part is they are going to have to come back here, so not a forced double dip, but an voluntary double dip into Eastern Palace.
Yeah, self-inflicted double dip, you could say.
It hurts. It hurts to see. But at the same time, Eastern Palace is like it's a Sphere 0. It's part of the overworld, pretty much. The only actually part of the dungeon is the dark rooms or Armos. That's about it. But yeah, here we are, Aga Tower. Gonna see some. I mean, the other thing about this is we don't really have any good weapons. A lot of times, if like players at this point have to do Aga Tower, they have like a better sword or a fire rod or even like the silvers or something. But we just got a red boomerang and a fighter sword. I mean, we do have ether, but I feel like that's more obnoxious than helpful.
And plus, we don't even have the magic for that, so even if you wanted to.
We might have magic for one. This is like watching someone go through Spiral Cave without the boots. And that does it for Eastern Palace for Furaime. They'll be making their way up to Aga Tower next.
Yeah, and as you said, not too far behind, especially this early on in the seed.
Alright guys, get your guesses in. Where do you think that G-Tower... Wait, where do you think the next... Where's that next progression item, and what do you think it's going to be? I gotta say, it's either going to be... I want it to be, like, the book. To go back to Desert.
Oh, God.
Because that'd be great.
And then you find out that Desert is boots locked. You can't even finish it.
Right. Well, I mean, it is green pendant, but
Yeah, but
actually,
obviously...
no. Hold on.
Okay.
Not boots locked, but no progression at Sahasrara, which would force our players to do basically NMG strats for Landmola, minus the bow.
Oh man.
I want some bomb. Did we get some bomb strats earlier? In I don't know if it was in the tourney or in the daily race, but I thought I saw some bomb strats on Landmola recently.
Ah, bummer. I was still at work.
So yeah, these players overall, not too far behind. They're pretty close, less than 2 minutes, roughly 2 minutes between the two players right now. And in Randomizer, a 2-minute swing is easy. All it takes is one gamble, one choice. Except now it might be a little bit higher than 2 minutes. Furaime getting a little bullied by the blue guards.
I hate that blue guard. He gives me so much trouble every time I have to go through here.
And Fighter Sword is such garbage, just in general.
Yeah, it's just not fun to have. I mean, it's better than no sword still, but you'd probably still rather have like a hammer or something over a fighter sword. Alright, looks like at least Aga isn't too trolly with the blue balls yet.
Did you just jinx them?
We shall see. I mean, the first one's always guaranteed, so we'll see what happens now. I blame you for this one, by the way.
Why?
You jinxed it by saying I jinxed it. Oh my god!
That's not how it works.
There we go.
Should try and reflect the lightning bolt. I heard that works in the Japanese 1.0 version. It's a very tight.
Swing.
It's a very tight window. So if you mess it up, it does double damage, and just completely ignores your tunic. So it's not worth it most of the time. But if you want to get them sweet swag strats in, might as well go for it.
And if you actually pull it off, it immediately kills Aga too as well.
So wait, are you saying they could just get the 7 crystals and go straight to Ganon? Oh, but they got to get in that Ganon hole.
Yep. Gotta dig that open with a shovel first. 100 digs.
Alrighty, g3rd0, first into the Dark World. We got a heart container on the pyramid. Going for the pod play. Sorry, Catfish. You can wait. I honestly think this is a better choice. There's potentially a lot more items over here in pod. It depends on how it lays out, but at the same time, he could get immediately bow locked, and Catfish is the progression item. And if Furaime goes there first, then they will take the lead.
Yeah, but it looks like g3rd0 is agreeing with us so far.
Well, thankfully, both these players will have more than enough rupees to be able to get in a pod. Imagine have to farm rupees just to go check pod.
That is probably the worst that can happen.
Alright, Palace of the Darkness, what are you going to hold for us? We don't have a mirror, so we can't really route this conveniently, so we might see some death orbs in here. But it depends on how this entire dungeon plays out, based on this first key.
Yeah, first we need to get a small key in here, and we do.
The journey continues.
And if I'm not completely wrong, just because chat just reminded me, we have seen a single bottle on top of Spectacle Rock with a red goo in it, I believe.
Oh yeah, that is a valid point. Could find a mirror to go get that. But then that would also open up Tower of Hera. They do have a fire source and a sword, so they would be able to complete it, but it is a pendant.
Gardo deciding to go back for the first chest here. You see a lot of people find a key there and just immediately go to the back for the big chests and the other items down there in the dark rooms. But I like this. They had the flute and the vanilla big key location here yesterday, I believe.
Oh, that's a popular place for it. Oh, Kana Berta!
Another blue item, so...
Oh man, the journey continues. Well, that small key location will allow him to go check the back. I wonder if we'll see a hammer jump from him. And on Furaime's side, they are also going for the pod play, so both players just kind of hanging out. Gonna get a little dungeon high five action going on.
Yeah, Gerdo trying to get away as far as possible from the entrance here. Doesn't really want to get that high five.
And we might see a hammer jump on the way back. No reason to go over there, because then you lock yourself in there. And if you don't have the big key, then you're just going in there for 2 chests.
Well, talking about the big key.
Yep. And it's also worth noting, with that lamp in hand, this is all in logic. A lot of times you'll see dark rooms in pod. Not today. So there's got to be something in that bridge.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean...
Compass. Also, yeah, conveniently, they did give them enough keys to be able to clear this all, except for going through the Bowlock section and then to Helma. Haven't seen a map check yet, so we don't know what dungeons are required, but we can hear the music, so we know this is a crystal. It's the shovel.
Oh man, another fetch quest.
Oh man.
And a fire shield. Okay, now the items are starting to come in. Not exactly what we're looking for, but items nonetheless.
This is pretty comical, not gonna lie.
Ooh, there's the hammer.
The vanilla hammer!
That,
That's 100%. That's just not in the same dungeon. That's in the same chest. Video game. VTorb. Please, is this even randomized?
That happens, and it looks like we're immediately getting a hype cave check here.
Oh, that's amazing. I've seen a lot of, vanilla quote-unquote items, but I've never seen 100% vanilla items like that. I think once I've seen a hook shot in the big chest in Swamp. Once. And once I've seen the cane in the big chest in Mire.
Alright, here we go with the map. Check Crystal 5 and 6 at Pod and Swamp Palace. I caught a red pendant somewhere, but I didn't quite pay attention.
I believe it was either at Thieves or Skull. Probably Skull.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Hype Cave. Second place Hype Cave? We got a bottle. That's something.
Ooh.
We got a mirror. Wow.
Okay, that's hype enough for me.
So that means that Paradox Cave has to have nothing, because it's kind of like it's regressing. It's getting less and less hype. Mini Moladorn, super hype. Hype Cave, pretty hype. Paradox Cave, zip. 0. None. Maybe we'll find some Rupors. I don't know.
Oh, Rupors. Oh man, I miss those.
Do we want no hype, or do we want the opposite of hype?
There's the hammer for Furaime.
With a hammer jump. So that is a legit hammer jump. Because you had to do it to get the hammer.
Oh yeah, good point. Alright, we're getting a dig spot check here from Gerdo. Let's see what we can dig up. Even more bombs.
Nice. That is really good routing, though. Hype Cave up this way, and then we'll probably go straight to Village of Outcast. But at the same time, you gotta think. You get Mire and Hammer all of a sudden. We have Tower of Hera access. We have East Death Mountain access. It's a lot of chests to check.
There is definitely a lot opening up for them now that they got that hammer, yeah. That is for sure. Interesting to see... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
I was just saying, yesterday, Furaime also skipped out on Hype Cave for a very long time, and it had quite an important item, and he also skipped out on it. Well, he checked it earlier, right? Yeah, of course he did. But, wait, no. I'm super confused right now. No, he's now checking it, isn't he?
He's checking it now. He went to the dig spot first.
Okay, so he went the other way around, which I found a little bit confusing, routing-wise.
See what we're gonna find in the digging game. Yep, confirming it was the red pendant at Skullwoods. So we will need the fire rod though because of Turtle Rock, Ice Palace, but pendant Skullwoods, that's not a bad one. So once we get that fire rod, what is that? What does that mean? Once we get that fire rod, because we did just get Hera access. Oh, we still need a few more items before we can go to Desert as well. We need at least the Titan Mitts, or the bow, or the book, maybe the boots. I think we're safe from that thing that we were talking about.
Yeah, I believe so too. I mean, Ice Rod, always a trolly candidate, but we'll see.
And we see Furaime dropping a bomb for the Hype Cave guy. It seemed a little unnecessary. I mean, you got a mirror and a bottle. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not quite sure what he's unhappy with here.
Maybe he's upset that he went shovel to Hype Cave. That'd be my guess, instead of Hype Cave to shovel.
Oh yeah, because of the mirror.
Oh, that's why he did it, because he didn't have the mirror. Then he gets the mirror. That's why he was mad. Fair enough. Yeah, here's the thing. We have all these overworld items, all these locations just unveiled to us. And this is, the hardest decision to make is overworld versus dungeons. You have all these dungeons you can complete. Thieves Town is a crystal, and you have the hammer, so you can full clear it. But what kind of seed are we going to get? Are we going to get one that the required items are in the overworld more so, or more in the dungeons? And there's always that scenario where it comes down to that one item for go mode, and you have no idea where it is, and you have all these crazy options. I'm excited to find out what kind of seed we're going to get.
Yeah, usually with this version you'd say go to dungeons. That's usually what people suggest you do. But it's been a little bit of a mixed bag lately.
I guess the general rule is do both. So, g3rd0's going to check all these Village of Outcasts items, then we'll more than likely go in and do Thieves Town. And then probably go up and do Hera. Well, it's a pendant, though, so I don't know.
Yeah, Hera is a pendant. I don't think we'll see these guys go back up to Death Mountain until they find the hookshot, is my guess.
Hookshot, mitts.
Yeah, and the mitts, or the mitts.
It's also worth noting that at this point, I believe Spike Cave is available to him.
Yeah.
So that's something you got to keep in the back of your mind.
Ooh, the flippers in Thieves Town. That means the whole sequence break from earlier to Zora, which gave us nothing, is now undone. But we also theoretically have access to Swamp. Not something you want to do without the hookshot, but we've seen a hookshot in Swamp before.
Definitely. It's always something to think about. It seems like every seed or every time you play, you think to yourself, okay, I have pendant dungeons I could be doing. I could go into dungeons. There's no way the item I need is in there, but every time you say that to yourself, it ends up being in one of those places you don't want to go. So I'm wondering, what is the next big progression item going to be? We did get flippers, but that it progresses us a little bit, but it doesn't help us entirely. Obviously, we need the Titan Myths.
Yeah,
That would unlock a ton of stuff. You know, all the Mire area. That would unlock Desert. That would unlock Ice Palace, Dark World Death Mountain.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of choices. The Myth's probably, as you say, the most effective or opening up the most locations at the moment. The hookshot will probably be another nice one. I guess we could just get another fetch quest in here.
Well, at least that one's kind of convenient to check while you're still in Village of Outcasts. If you want to make the effort. It might be worth it to wait, you know, and try and route that in when you get the Titan Myths, you know, do Blacksmiths, Batcave, Purple Chest, all in one go, but it's always going to be nagging at you, like, hey, you just got this, so you should probably go do this, right?
Yeah, as you say, I'd probably like to wait until I got Titans to do all the whole, you know, Blacksmith and Hammerpack Cave and all that stuff. But, yeah, as you say, the whole nagging thing.
What I am curious about and what I really want to see is I want to see a big route divergence at some point. Because so far it's pretty much just been, you know, who figured out who went to the Dark World first, and then it's all just been follow the leader since.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, all they've done is switch up. At one point they check which places, but the places that they've actually checked have pretty much been the same.
Yeah, so 3 items in the beginning, 4 chests, and a big key. So there was only 1 item left. It must. Oh yeah, and then it was the powder in the room with the bomb hole.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have all 4 items, you have no reason to check any more chests. No point wasting time.
Of course, the Thieves' Town, where nothing is in big chests, is the Thieves' Town where you find the hammer early enough to actually use it in here.
Or it's like the worst is when you get the Thieves' Town that has the hammer in it. The first 4 chests, because you're like, if I start a pendant done, you know, and it's like pendant thieves, and you're like, oh, come on, that's not even funny. All right, Gerdo, what's going to be your next play? Where are you going to go? Are you going to go for that, you know, the early Skullwoods dip? Going to go check Batcave? Looks like he's fluting somewhere, maybe. Oh, he's checking Batcave.
All right, why not?
Right.
I mean, as you said, he's right here.
And if, you know, there's the whole rule of the theory of the breadcrumb. And one thing leads to another. So maybe the powder will lead to our next thing. Or it's a dud. Probably a dud. Maybe a sword. A sword would be nice.
Yeah, sword couldn't hurt at this point.
It is Silvers.
Silvers, okay.
Herfy, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal, right?
That is a pretty good thing to find.
And I'm sure Gerdo especially is happy to see those. Now, of course, we can't use them yet. But curious to see if Furaime will make the same play as well after finishing up Thieves' Town. Because if we get Bow anytime soon, you know, Silvers is a nice thing to have, especially when you're still working with Fighter Sword.
Absolutely, those silver arrows can really help you out a lot, especially on the boss fights.
And it looks like Furaime might potentially not be... Oh, okay. They grabbed the chest anyway.
Yeah, just force of habit, I'm guessing. That key.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, is this game has a lot of muscle memory. And depending on how, you know, the seed plays out, you have to break that muscle memory somehow. So it's easy to just kind of fall into suit. Or go into autopilot.
Mm-hmm. And I'm truly amazed at Gerdo's ability to keep those nice and round rupee numbers going.
I know, keep it up. Please don't ever change.
Oh, basement require impendent hair. Ugh.
Yeah, that sucks. But you know that the minute you don't do it, it's going to be something required.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to leave here and go, okay, never mind this.
Will we find anything of value in this Hera basement? And by Hera basement, I mean Hera in general, because we know it's going to be a big key down here.
Yeah, if this isn't the big key, we somehow managed to get into a different mode.
Look, I'm still mad that Randomizer that we had in the daily race, the tile rooms was a tile room. Like, that's the best part about Randomizers. The tile rooms are replaced as well. You walk in, and it's just like a cuckoo or something, or, you know, little slime balls. And you're like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. So we're still looking for 2 items. Will we have to complete this whole dungeon? Or will we just grab the 2 items and go? And then we have all of East Death Mountain that we can check. I'm kind of anticipating a Titan Mitts on the East Death Mountain.
Yeah, I'm really kind of liking this play from g3rd0 because with the hammer in hand, it's the long way around, but you can route in this little bottle pickup that he did, and a Hera where he's in now. And then you just go over there, check out what's on the floating island, jump down to Spiral Cave, make the slow walk through it.
Oh, g3rd0, gotta be careful. I think you got it. That's a scary one to line up when you don't have the boots.
No!
Oh! Oh, wow. All right. Hook shot in Tower of Hera Big Chest. Big play. We are seeing a route divergence. Furaime going for the Skull Woods check. They won't be able to complete it. It's a pendant, but both players making the pendant gambles, and right now g3rd0's with the huge progression item. With that hook shot, he'll be able to check East Death Mountain, and what else is he going to be able to do with that, Herfy?
He is going into Swamp, I'm guessing.
Now, there's still that whole concept of go moding dungeons, and Swamp Palace is one of those dungeons that everyone likes to go mode. Now, hold on! We got a sword upgrade in Skullwood, so both dungeons actually being, for the most part, required. Until we find out where another sword is, at least. So, you know, you can't call go mode until we have a Master Sword.
Yeah, and that, I'm trying to think, because this really makes me, gives me sort of a little bit of PTSD from yesterday's match from these two. Because g3rd0 was constantly one sword upgrade behind from a pendant dungeon that he never had to check. And if he ends up not going to Skull Woods, and we have a sort of similar situation to yesterday, he's going to be stuck with silver arrows and Master Sword again, probably.
Or potentially even, you know, going through G-Tower looking for one more sword.
Oh boy, I hope not.
You gotta feel bad for the players when they get to that point, but as a viewer, it is probably one of the more like hype moments in a race when you have 2 players entering G-Tower, but one of them's missing a sword upgrade, like a still on fighter sword. Because there's only so many chests you could check, and it's like, all right, are they gonna get bailed out?
It's definitely one of the more exciting things to watch, and it's especially super exciting if they do get bailed out in the end.
Yeah, especially if it's like sword in the last chest or something crazy like that. I mean, we can't forget that race. It was Kyle LPN. He was the first one into G-Tower. He finished all of G-Tower with the fighter sword and had to go looking for a Master Sword upgrade, which he still managed to find and then still win the race. It was insane.
Oh, wow. That sounds crazy. So we see Furaime checking more Overworld spots here, while g3rd0 is just putting his newfound hookshot to very good use. Finds his 3rd bottle, unfortunately empty. I think all he has at this point is the red potion and 2 empty bottles, I think?
I believe so, yeah. Alright, for Gerdo's sake, he wants to find those Titan mitts up here. But he's gonna get a bug net. And a red rupee. And 50 rupees. And a red rupee. And a harpus.
Damn it, couldn't you have found another 10 rupees, Gerdo?
Yeah, work on that, please. But it looks like Furaime's not far behind, and, you know, having a Master Sword at this point doesn't really give you too much of an advantage yet. So that might come into play a little bit later. Especially when you can use hammer strats on Moldorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, East Step Mountain not really holding any value yet. We still have the slow walk through Spiral Cave. And having that hookshot makes it a little bit easier.
I have a noob question for you.
Uh-oh. Wait, did you say new or noob with a B?
Noob.
Okay,
noob like newbie.
Answer's no.
Gerdo saved and quit and started back at the Old Man.
Okay.
Hookshot it over to East Death Mountain and cleared out everything and then walked up to Spiral Cave. Would it have been a lot slower or maybe even faster to go out of Hera, take the hammer route to the right, and go from top to bottom?
That would have, but he checked Spike Cave first.
Oh,
He
right.
went Hera to Spike Cave, save and quit. So either way, it was gonna require another trip up Death Mountain just to do that, check it both. So, and I think either way it would have worked. Not a big difference, but
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, of course.
we'll see if he does the same.
If you watched me commentate the race yesterday between these two, you'd know that I'm very good at immediately forgetting something that just happened 5 seconds ago.
I mean, when we're watching two separate screens, it's easy, and we're talking about stuff that might not even be like 100% relevant to what's happening at that very moment. It's easy for it to happen. Furaime picking up their second bottle, the red goo inside, while Gerdo's going for the Swamp House play. I mean, here's the thing. At this point, Gerdo has what? Skullwoods, North of Graveyard, Catfish. Versus all of Swamp Palace, which is a crystal. It's a Pyramid Fairy crystal. And, you know, I gotta say, I think we're gonna find a bow in here. Like a bow on the left side or something. Because then, with that, you can finish Swamp, go finish Pod, check Pyramid Fairy, and then go from there.
Yeah, I think the bow really needs to be the next big thing they find. Of course, they still need Fire Rod, the Ice Rod, the Cane of Samaria, and everything, but to actually get anywhere in all these other dungeons, it's the bow that they're missing.
And Furaime taking a coffee break. Speaking of which, I should do the same. Nah, I'll wait. At this point, we're still looking for mitts. We're still looking for bow. We need both rods. We don't know which medallions we need for Mire and T-Rock. So we still might need both the other two medallions as well. And of course, Canis Mario. And maybe the boots.
Maybe.
And of course, Gerdo still needs that sword out of Skull Woods or somewhere else. Personally, I feel like Swamp Palace, like 9 times out of 10, has a sword. It just seems like a popular option.
You must have been playing other Swamp Palaces from me.
Oh, did you have a different experience?
I
was talking about my experiences. But if you want to talk about yours, go right ahead.
I don't know. Swamp is, as you said earlier, it's a little bit of a divisive dungeon, I guess. Because
it's a silly place.
Yeah, it definitely is a silly place. Usually, I think you can say that generally every rando runner wants to go mode this dungeon if they have any chance to.
They want to go mode this, and they want to go mode ice.
Mm-hmm. But sadly, more often than not, you don't get a chance to. Don't do it, Gerdo. Okay, very good.
Have we seen a flooded key anytime recently?
Yeah, I saw one just recently. I don't remember if it was a tournament match or one of the daily that I commentated, but someone flooded a key.
There's always one.
And the saddest part was they mirrored out and thought that would reset it, but it didn't.
Oh no. That's rough. And Furaime, with that Master Sword in hand, going for spins as opposed to using the hammer. It's a little bit safer, because it's really easy to get bopped by Moldorn when you're using the hammer, because you don't have anything in front of you. You don't have anything like pushing you away. It becomes straight for you, and you take a lot of knockback from him when you get hit.
And knowing Furaime, he probably didn't want to spend the menu time that he would have had to use to switch over to the hammer.
Okay, well, we're gonna see the opposite. Well, that's because Furaime already did Spike Cave. They did Spike Cave, then they did Hera, I believe. Alright, Swamp Palace left side had the Titan Mitts. There's our progression.
Ooh, there we go.
Perfect. What does that open up for us?
That opens up for us Mire, potentially, assuming it is Ether Medallion, even though we do not have the Cane of Samaria yet. It does also open up Ice Palace for us, even though we can't get anywhere in there because we do not have Fire Rod or Bombos. It does potentially open up Desert, or at least the whole Mire area, and with it Desert. It is the green pendant, so might have something. 2 items in Desert itself and a bonus item from the green pendant. I think that's pretty much it, isn't it?
And Dark World Deathbound.
Oh yeah, of course. How could I forget about that? Plus Hookshaw Cave.
Has, yeah, a couple chests, I guess. And then also T-Rock, but without that Cane of Samaria, nothing much you can do in there, but players could find out what medallion they need for T-Rock as well as for Mire. So it's going to be interesting to see what g3rd0's next play is going to be. And as well, if there's still more items left to be found in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, he's definitely not skipping out on any chests. Didn't even decide to go straight for the boss or anything. Ooh, hello.
Called it.
You did call it. There's the bow. So that's really the 2 most important progression items for these guys right now, I'd say.
Well, despite the fact that you did get the Titan Mitts, now they can go back and finish their uncompleted Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace with the Mire, making it real quick to just finish out that entire area, and then probably go for a Pyramid Fairy check if they so desire. I don't know, it's tough, because you want to give that Pyramid Fairy location value, because it's like, you need a lot of items in order to get to there. But so many times it ends up being nothing. So it's a tough choice to make. But yeah, at this point, Furaime is about a Swamp Palace full clear behind. I haven't been counting items in Swamp Palace, so I don't know if g3rd0's going to have to go back and check the big chest. But we are going to see some really, really good Fighter Sword strats on Argus. It takes 2 spins to kill the Puffs. 2 spins with the Fighter Sword each. Which is really annoying. But the nice thing for Furaime, they will be able to just do 1 spin or 2 slashes with the Master Sword to kill each Puff. And g3rd0's switching to hammer strats to finish them off, because he's saying, that's enough. I've showed off enough. I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, but definitely something to keep in mind and learn from, because that was really beautifully executed.
And the nice thing about finding that bow is potentially getting to 1 shot, hitting Argus right on the top of his noggin, dropping that big key. It's about as good of a fight as you can get, given the items that g3rd0 had.
Yeah, absolutely. Did an amazing job of killing that boss, grabs his first Pyramid Fairy Crystal, as you were saying earlier, and now with that bow in hand, he can go and grab the second one if he wants to.
And based on his choices, I'm going to go ahead and assume that that big chest held one of the other dungeon items, so map or compass.
Mm-hmm.
So good routing, going for the left side first. Let's see if Furaime makes the same choice. Yeah, for the most part, Furaime has been like following in g3rd0's footsteps, but just either making like minor mistakes or just choosing a bit slower options or like choosing a few extra things. So this gap between these two players keeps on getting larger and larger. So, and if this trend keeps up, there's no way Furaime is going to be able to catch up. Unless it comes down to that sword upgrade.
Yeah, right now the gap is widening, as you say, but I like to think of this as borrowed time in a way, because depending on how well g3rd0's progression turns out, of course, but all the places that Furaime has already checked are potentially places that g3rd0 will be checking at some point if he doesn't find all the items he needs.
Yeah, that is a good point. We always talk about leads and how players can get so far ahead based on their choices, but that could easily be reversed if they end up going back and checking the places that the other players already checked. Yeah, this is going to cost Furaime a little bit of time. They're skipping the left side, so they're not going to be getting those mitts yet. And let's just hope that they don't gamble on it. I doubt they would, but, oh man, you know, if they get that bow, they might think that this was the only progression item in here.
That could be painful. I do believe Furaime is gonna go back in for the left side, but we will have to see.
We have seen players skip left side a lot, but I think we've seen it enough times that everyone else is probably too afraid. But over on the other side, g3rd0 finding the Cane of Samaria in the bow lock section of Pod.
So this progression is definitely working out for him so far.
So yeah, with that Cane of Samaria and the Titan mitts, we do have the potential of finishing Mire, going into T-Rock, depending on what the medallions are.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be ether for both.
Ether for that would actually be really convenient.
I know, and I'm a very nice commentator sometimes.
Now I'm gonna rival that opinion by saying I want them to find Bombos, but that's what you need to use for Ice Palace. Because I don't know. It's always fun seeing those options.
I mean, with Skull Woods being a pendant and the Master Sword being in a not fire rod location, we could be without the fire rod for quite some time.
That's true. You could also get that legendary fire rod in T-Rock scenario.
Could definitely happen.
Yeah, that's a really good Argus fight with that Master Sword in hand. Makes it a little bit easier. So Furaime going to be able to save a little bit of time, but based on the routing in Swamp, going to be losing a little bit of time having to go back in, but not by much. Fighter Sword Helmsar, not a big deal when you have the silver arrows. It's just 1 silver to the jewels, and Helmsar is dead.
Furaime is leaving the Titansmiths in there. Oh no.
Oh, please.
Nope. This time I'm saying you jinxed it.
Oh, that's a huge rip. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I'm all ears.
They are going to lose a little bit of time having to go back in there. But if the Titan mitts lead to a bunch of like junk overworld items that g3rd0 is going to go find, I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's really hard at this point. Oh,
yeah.
Never skip. I mean, it's one of those. I'm sure Furaime thought that they were behind, maybe. So they wanted to make that gamble, but that's just a scary gamble to make. Like, didn't even go back in to check the big chest.
Yeah, definitely didn't want to have anything to do with the rest of Swamp there, which I find quite surprising. I mean, understandable, but Alright, meanwhile, g3rd0 is making super short work of the rest of EP. He's basically cleared out everything, so he just needs to go to Armos. And as we've seen earlier, Armos does still hold an item, so let's see if g3rd0's progression chain continues here.
It's also worth noting that once Furaime's done with Pod and Eastern, and Pyramid Fairy, that they don't really have any other options left. They do have the cane, but they can't do anything with it. The bow doesn't do anything else, so they're going to run out of options unless Pyramid Fairy or Armos holds the next progression item.
Now imagine if Armos or Pyramid Fairy gives them a Fire Rod.
Fire Rod would send you to Skulk Woods. Or maybe like Book to go to Desert. I'm kind of anticipating it's going to be nothing. For g3rd0's sake, I want it to be like some rupees, but just a hard container. So that's actually good for Furaime. They're going to end up having to go back to Swamp because they're going to run out of stuff to do.
Yeah, I guess that's a little sparkle of light there because, as you say, they're going to be running out of spots to check relatively soon. I mean, there's still all the out-of-the-way locations like Quakefish and
oh yeah, that's true.
You know, stuff like that they might go to before they dip back in the swamp.
Alright, moment of truth. What medallion do we need for Mire? We won't find out.
Oh man, what a tease.
g3rd0, I thought did you already check that when you did Agahnim Cave?
He probably forgot about it.
Fair enough. It's a quick check, but they don't seem to know what they want to do. Dark World, it's Ether. Mire is available.
Yay!
We have a fire source.
The biggest deal here for g3rd0 right now, grabbing his third shield upgrade, but still running around with that fighter sword.
Oh! Poor g3rd0. g3rd0 got sniped with a fireball right after the medallion animation.
Oh no, I hate that.
Which is really annoying because you want... Well, he's got a fighter sword, so it doesn't really matter. It's really nice having sword beams going into Mire because of the second room coming up. I guess it doesn't really matter too much because not only does he not have a sword upgrade, he also doesn't have a fire rod, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. Still kind of annoying, though.
Nice Somaria strats here, though.
Yeah, I've been seeing players using that recently. And I've never even considered it. I guess it's a nice second option when you don't have sword beams or fire rod, so...
Alright, 2 items here in Mire, potentially. Let's see if we get another early big key, which apparently makes everyone... Yep, we definitely do. But,
alright, now g3rd0 can just magically spawn the boots and hover to straight to Vitreous.
To be
Just
fair,
like
I think he's just gonna go straight to Vitreous anyway, because when you find an early big key in here, I've seen a lot of people just go straight to Viti and then maybe make their way back in.
But yeah, this is literally the God Mire, and it looks like g3rd0 is just gonna go for it. They gotta be feeling ahead. They've been making all the right choices, so they're just thinking, alright, Vitreous is gonna have the next item that I need, and then I can keep going. Yeah, interesting choice, putting off the Pyramid Fairy check. It is 2 items, and it does take a little bit of time to get to, but they did kill Aga, so it's not that time-consuming, because they can use the Hyrule Castle portal.
Yeah, that shortcut is really handy, especially, or mostly really, for that Pyramid Fairy.
Furaime picking up their heart container. What's your next play? We'll probably see a Pyramid Fairy from them first, before they head to... back to Swamp. But then again, you're right. They could go for the catfish play. At this point, that choice is all up to them. I just hope they go back to Swamp Palace when they get the chance.
Looks like they will. Oh no, he might also be checking the Pyramid Fairy, as you said. Same warp. That was an interesting sound there.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an audio issue for that. It happens every now and then. Yeah, Silver Arrows for Vitreous, easiest fight in the world. Next to it's like as easy as Armos Knights. But g3rd0 getting the bad luck, only getting a small key, so both items in Mire are still in there. So, will they go back in or not? Oh no!
Oh,
that had to have been like a microsecond off. So what Furaime was trying to pull was if you screen transition right as the number hits 0, it will not blow up, it'll just respawn to you. But just barely missing it.
Yeah, decides to just take the normal route this time around. And while I was paying attention to that, I completely missed out on Vitreous and what he dropped, if anything.
Oh, it was a small key. That's why g3rd0's going back in.
Alright.
Alright, moment of truth. If Pyramid Fairy has something of value, like another sword upgrade, this could be big for Furaime.
Yeah, if he does find another sword upgrade. Oh, the book!
Ew.
Oh man,
Ew.
that is
Ew.
super gross for Furaime right now.
Oh, gross. Well, it's gonna take him away from. I was going for Eastern or Ether Tablet. Yeah, this is looking bad every second. I mean, unless this leads to Fire Rod, Ice Rod, or a required item. Oh,
ooh, man!
All right,
g3rd0.
that's looking rough. So we got the boots. g3rd0 found the boots in Misery Mire. So yeah. All right. I have a little a loss of words, Herfy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to really say anything about this. I mean, we do know where most of the stuff is. The two rods are still very much unknown, but as you said, unless Furaime magically pulls a rod out of these tablets, he's in pretty bad shape.
This needs to be a rod. Just $100. Well, at least with this routing, unless Furaime decides to go to Desert, which seems to be the play. I was gonna say they could check the Bombos back into Swamp, but that's the thing though in Rando. If you make a gamble, you either stick with it and just accept that it's gonna either win you the race or lose you the race. Because the minute you go back on a gamble, you're behind.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. And Furaime might also feel a little bit more comfortable. I mean, it never feels great to do gambles like this, and then it turns out it was the wrong gamble to make, but since he's a game ahead, he's probably not too worried about it.
And even if there is progression here, more than likely finding that the boots in Mire, g3rd0 will probably make the play into Desert.
Would not be surprised.
We don't know what's on the torch item in Desert yet, so...
Yeah, so far we can check everything out. Torch might still hold the big key.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this is looking like a pretty high probability Game 3 scenario.
Yeah, I think you're not wrong.
Well, Boot's not required to complete Desert, but what is on that torch? g3rd0 about to find out. It is just a blue roop.
Yep, nothing of worth.
Unfortunately for this, well, okay, at this point, Furaime needs Landmola or Sahasrahla to have something. And I don't know, well, I'm assuming, yeah, there's still one more item left in Desert. Otherwise, Furaime would be going straight to Landmola. And it looks like Landmola is going to be holding the second item here.
And the problem for Furaime here really is, even if Landmola holds a good item that he needs, g3rd0 is right on his tail, so he'll be grabbing it as well at about the same time, maybe a minute or two behind.
Yeah, he's running out of options too. And fortunately for him, he's going to be able to check Bombos on his way back into Swamp. So he's still, there's this very small bit of hope if the Bombos tablet has something of value.
I also find it quite interesting to see that both of these guys are currently in Desert, but one of them doesn't even have the book.
Yep. That is pretty, that's interesting. It's kind of fun because there's two completely different logics that can come into play. So it's cool that there are options that you can either get here with Mitz, Flute, Mire, or get here with Book. So just what's one of the things that makes the randomizer so interesting and intricate and fun to play, and all the variations that could happen in each individual seed.
Yeah, and I think this here, like this desert area, and what's the other one that I wanted to say? I already forgot again. Oh, Death Mountain, of course. Those are the two areas that stand out the most to me for having like two ways to officially get there by the logic.
Hookshot or Mirror Hammer?
I mean, either Flute or Lamp and Power Glove to get up Death Mountain, or,
gotcha, yeah.
you know.
Wow. Nice high five from our players that are both at completely different, like, parts of the seed. But we'll be finding out what is at Sahasrahla for, at least for Furaime. g3rd0 going to be checking that checkerboard cave first.
I'm going to assume that next up for g3rd0 is going to be the Pyramid Fairy and maybe Sahasrahla. That book might lead him somewhere else. Well, really only the tablets at this point, but...
Well, he's got Ice Palace and he's got T-Rock, but with... Oh, that's not good for Furaime.
Nope, not at all.
Wow, there's an Ice Rod, alright. Well, here's the thing, g3rd0's still looking for a sword. It's not over yet. But with two more swords still MIA currently, I'm sure we'll find one of them in G-Tower, but wow. So Green Pendant, Landmola required to get the Ice Rod. So we're still looking for... All we need now for g3rd0 is a Fire Rod and access to T-Rock.
So I'm assuming we're going to see a tablet check here first. And then I really hope that Furaime is going to go back into Swamp.
See, here's the thing. If Bombo's tablet ends up holding the Fire Rod, well, did we get both items in Skull or just one?
I think just one. What's the sword upgrade, right? I don't think I saw anything else.
Well, at this point, the thing is, we know Fire Rod can't be at the pedestal. It could potentially be the medallion that we need for T-Rock. But if T-Rock is Ether, then pedestal is dead. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
And with Bombos being nothing, it's pretty much over. But I don't want to become complacent. Oh, all right, Quake medallion required.
Okay, Quake required, and Furaime finally going back to Swamp. Gonna be not exactly happy about finding those Titan's Mitts.
Yeah, so Book did not hold any value, so to speak. It depends on what the logic wanted. Did it want you to get the book just to get the ice rod from Landmola, or was that just part of the whole Titan Mix play?
Oh, Gerdo gets super trolled here. Oh no. And the skull is gone. Okay, he bonks over.
Yeah, I was wondering, I thought he was going to have to reset it, but thankfully he did find those boots, and there's the sword!
And there is his sword upgrade, alright.
Sword number 3 in Hookshot Cave. That pretty much seals it. I don't know about you, Herfy. I mean, unless this Fire Rod is super trolly, but the problem is we don't really have that many options left to check, do we?
No, at this point I think really the only thing that could save Furaime is Quake on the pedestal, maybe?
Right, but we will need that Fire Rod first.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm feeling a Quake in Ice Palace at this point.
It is probably a relatively safe guess, yeah. We'll have to see. We need a Fire Rod or Bombos in either case, really. Fire Rod more likely to help us out in Skullwood than the Bombos would be, but...
Well, this is interesting on g3rd0's side. It looks like they're gonna probably go for the Pyramid Fairy play. They're gonna find their book, and he might opt to check either tablet and Bombo's tablet as opposed to going straight to Ice Palace, which will give Furaime a little bit of time to catch up. Having done all of Desert already, Furaime will just have to do Mire. And depending on how they route Mire...
g3rd0 could go to Ice Palace, but what's he gonna do once he's in there?
Oh yeah, you're right. We're still looking for a fire... Yeah, where's that Fire Rod then?
Fire Rod or Bombos? I mean, we could have Bombos on pedestal, and then Ice Palace has the required medallion for
Oh! It's Blacksmiths. It's gotta be Blacksmiths. Blacksmiths, Peg Cave... We have all that stuff.
Right. You are completely right. That's true. I completely forgot about those guys.
And also Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb. Those just open up with the boots. So we still have a few more Overworld spots we can check, but... Yeah, g3rd0's going to get their book, and they're going to be like, oh, come on, man. It's not what I want to see. Do I want to follow the breadcrumbs, or do I want to just check all these other spots instead?
Oh, for a second I thought he was going to go up to Quakefish. There's finally the Titan Smiths for Furaime. Not going to be happy about that at all. Must definitely feel behind at this point.
Oh, and if g3rd0 is making that Skullwoods play, they're going to have their Tempered Sword shortly.
And we're getting an immediate Mire area check from Furaime. Probably going to finish up Mire as well, since they do have Ether, the Cane, everything they need.
Yeah, at this point it comes down to just 2 items. One of them can very well be on the pedestal. Just depends on what we find first. Because obviously if we find Quake, then there's nothing on the pedestal. Well, I mean, there's probably something on the pedestal, but we're not going to see it until the credits.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so g3rd0 has picked up his sword upgrade. It's not gonna find anything in here if I'm remembering correctly.
I'm trying to remember if it was like a compass or something. Oh, okay. It was. Good. Yeah, this is the correct route. This is a good route for g3rd0 because check Skullwoods, check Bumper Cave, and then they could do Bonk Rocks, North of Graveyard, King's Tomb to Catfish. That whole route.
Yeah, I'm liking this.
But if it ends up being in Peg Cave or Blacksmith, then, you know, this will be just time wasted.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of that safe time that I was talking about earlier. Furaime has already checked the back of Graveyard. Could not check King's Tomb, obviously, without the boots or the bonk rocks, but it's gonna cost g3rd0 some time to at least check a few of those locations that Furaime has already checked.
Alright, nothing there. The curious thing to think about is, I mean, usually if they give you an item, they want you to use it. So far, the boots have not been, like, used for progression at all. So you want to think that, like, King's Tomb is going to have a good value. Or maybe, like, the big keys on G-Tower Torch or whatnot. Or that rule just doesn't apply. But it's just one of those things that most players like to, well, at least I personally like to think about. Like, they gave this to me for a reason, right?
Aw, still no sand card. You know, I've always wondered with this game why the fireballs make that bouncy sound.
Which fireballs? Oh!
Yeah,
hold on.
those.
Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. I think I saw something that...
Herfy, did you see that?
Maybe light something on fire, possibly?
Herfy, did we just find something important?
I think we found something very important indeed.
I'm asking you as a friend. Did we find something of value?
Yeah, I would definitely call this value.
Okay, that's good. Are we also... Okay, this would be... You know, it'd be a death sentence for Furaime, but it would be amazing to see from g3rd0 if we got a vanilla Quake medallion.
Oh man. That would not only be amazing for g3rd0, it would also be our second vanilla item.
So that statement I made previously about them giving us boots for a reason, it was to get the fire rod, so good value. And Catfish holds...
Oh! Okay, not
well,
quite
hey.
a Quake, but we'll take it.
The other sword, wow. So here we were, g3rd0 just went from fighter sword to gold sword in like 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. Maybe a little bit more, but close to that.
Yeah, considering for how long he had to make do with that fighter sword, he sure got a bunch of upgrades right away.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Furaime made the same play, so he's going to be going back into Mire to get the boots and probably full clear the dungeon looking for that second item in the big chest. Or, it's either big chest or second chest right after it. One of the two.
I'm going right over here to the big chest. I think the big chest had, not the boots, right? But,
the blue rupee? No, that was desert. What was it?
Yeah, I think this had a red rupee. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. g3rd0? g3rd0.
What is... Oh, okay, he's getting potions before he goes in there. Alright, that's fair. I was like, why are you... What are you... What's happening?
He's got money. He's got bottles. Might as well. But hey, this is good for Furaime. They're going to be able to skip that whole really obnoxious vanilla big key location in Mire, saving a little bit of time overall. They're going to need some miracles if they want to win this race, but every little time save still counts, so it's worth pointing out. I guess, yeah, that's kind of a game breaker right there if you go into Ice Palace and run out of magic against Cold Stare.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen, especially not what happened to g3rd0 yesterday at Ganon. He's gonna pay extremely close attention to his magic bar at all times. g3rd0. What was that?
Ooh. If Furaime goes straight to King's Tomb, they're going to Death Mountain.
Bummer.
Yeah.
But they're gonna pick up their Tempered Sword.
That's good. Yeah, this is still a lot closer than I thought. But it just depends on how much more Overworld Furaime checks after this.
Yeah, it's not as awfully lopsided as we first thought, but depending on what g3rd0 finds in here, I mean, as someone just pointed out, if Quake is indeed somewhere in the Overworld, Furaime can go mode Ice Palace, which will save him a whole bunch of time over g3rd0, who will quite possibly full clear it until he finds that Quake medallion.
Yeah, we still do have the blacksmiths section and Peg Cave and all that stuff, and I don't know, Peg Cave lately has been having a lot of value.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of a little of an annoying area, I guess, carrying... I mean, the frog is taken home relatively quickly, the Peg Cave is checked relatively quickly, but Gary's lunchbox is a little bit annoying, and you kind of just don't want to engage in that whole area down there if you don't have to. But it's really not something you should ignore, in my opinion. Alright, here goes the hookshot cave for Furaime. g3rd0 not really finding anything in Ice Palace so far.
Well, here's the big conglomerate of chests. Here's the map. So we've seen small key and dungeon map so far. 2 more chests to check up here.
I like that he checked that map chest first, because if he finds Quake down here... Well, not really, he still has to clear the dungeon. Never mind.
There's the big key. Well, the nice thing is if he had found the Quake right there, then he could have just gone straight to Cold Stare and skip checking all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all this so far, a lot of junk, but look at Furaime. Gonna be getting that Fire Rod right now.
Alright, so not very far behind at all. Assuming they immediately go to Ice Palace right now.
But that's assuming Quake is in here.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, you know, if it both ends up being... The thing is, like, if it ends up being... Well, what Overworld stuff do we have left? Just blacksmiths? That's it, right? But g3rd0 might go and check, like, if it's not... If Quake... Furaime needs Quake to not be in here, basically.
Yeah.
Needs to not be in Ice Palace, because, like, g3rd0 might go and check the book sections. So, man, it's hard to tell. Let's see what we got going on here. We're still looking for... We haven't seen any items yet, right? We're still looking for all 3.
I believe so, yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, that's Bombos. Wait, okay, hold on.
That is the wrong medallion.
That's really bad. Furaime is gonna go check the pedestal. We're gonna get a ped check right now, and if Quake is in here, this is huge.
If Quake is indeed in the pedestal, that is gonna be massive for Furaime.
This could be the moment. This could be the game changer. Unless g3rd0 finds Quake right now. Small key. Rupee Horde. No. But Mothula could have it, right?
Yeah, theoretically. If Cold Stare doesn't drop anything that we need, we've got a bunch of stuff left.
We're gonna get another dungeon high 5. g3rd0 making sure that every fire rod counted. A few quick swipes and Cold Stare is down. Ooh, only a heart piece.
Oh man.
Oh jeez. All right, it's not nice, fellas.
All right, where do we go now? Is g3rd0 gonna check the tablets?
Yeah, that's the thing is, g3rd0 still has a few other overworld spots that Furaime has already checked to go check. The only things we have left at this point, I think there's still an item in Skullwoods, and then the blacksmiths.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that they haven't checked yet. It looks like the Skullwoods, I'm assuming, is what g3rd0 is going to do now.
Well, we'll find out. One or the other. I would assume the blacksmiths, just because it's...
Yeah, you're probably right.
Peg Cave. It's gotta be.
Yeah, there we go.
At this point, I want it to be at Mothula.
Would be the trolliest location still available, I believe.
Because then it'd be an all dungeons seed.
Oh, basically. Yeah.
I mean, we had to go into what? Desert. Well, Desert didn't have anything. No, Desert led to Ice Rod.
Mm-hmm.
Tower of Hera led to Hookshot, and we just need. And Skullwoods led to a sword upgrade, and hopefully. Oh,
oh man! Every location gets more exciting.
Oh man, I can't wait to see the dot comment saying 100%? Question mark.
Here comes the frog. The thing is, I was gonna say that if Quake is indeed on Mothula, it might lead to a pedestal check from g3rd0, but since Quake is his go mode item, he has no reason to check the pedestal after he gets it, so that makes no sense.
But the jokes, the funs.
The funsies.
Wouldn't you do it just for a laugh? In a tournament
maybe.
race?
I mean, if I was a game ahead, maybe.
Maybe if this was like the bronze match or something.
Okay, it's not the Smiths.
Okay, it's either Skullwoods or it's Purple Chest. Maybe that Fire Rod had a little bit more value than just completing Ice Palace.
Purple Chest, relatively quick check with the flute, thankfully, but still quite annoying.
And he's going to go into the Dark World to check that Bombos tablet as well. Smart play.
Mm-hmm. Very smart play. I would have completely forgotten about that, to be honest.
Now, if it's not at Purple Chest, do you think g3rd0 would go up and check Ether next? And just be like, well, if I get it there, then I can go straight to T-Rock.
I think so, yeah. I really think he doesn't want to go back into Skullwoods, make his trek to the backside, kill Mothula, all that junk.
I can't believe this is coming down to, like, literally the last or second to last overworld item.
Alright, here we go.
It's gotta be here, or it's at Skullwoods. It is!
Oh!
Wow. Wow. What an awful seed. So, that's an all dungeons required seed.
Yep, that is...
Send him an all dungeons seed instead of a defeat Ganon? Were mistakes made?
There's a red rupee, and g3rd0's gotta be very not happy right now. And the thing is, if you're in a situation like g3rd0 right now, you're looking at this, you're looking at IRC, you don't see a dot done from your opponent, and you're like, dude, I only have one single spot left to check. What is happening here?
You gotta feel behind. And it makes you wonder what would have happened had Furaime not skipped the Titan Mitts in Swamp. How, potentially different this could have played out, but it's not over yet. But it really comes down to Furaime's next routing choices after being disappointed from Ice Palace.
So do you think he's gonna run straight to Moth, or is he gonna check the little chest before Moth?
I think honestly, he might check the pedestal first.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's a tough choice. It's either go ahead and just go straight to Mothula, or check that first chest in the section. Oh, okay. So he's going straight for it.
Yep, going straight in there. And also going straight to Mothula, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So these are the last two locations and the last item that he can potentially find.
If Mothula has it, then this game required at least 9 of the 10 bosses. Because we didn't have to kill Moldorm, because Hookshot was just in the big chest.
True.
But we did have to kill our good friend Landmola to get that green pendant.
This was definitely a very interesting scene, the way it turned out.
Furaime using the bombos to crack the ice, and then what magic they had left using the Fire Rod and Temper Sword to finish him off. And g3rd0, did you blink? Because Mothula's dead, and there's a dungeon.
Oh, no!
Oh, man.
But yes, I definitely want to go back to the Mothula fight for a second. Gets a double hit in with that first dash, and then 2 more slashes from the Butter Sword, and down Mothula goes.
So quick.
Alright, so...
It's right here. It's sitting right there.
What do we do if this isn't Quake?
We panic. There's nothing... We haven't missed anything, right?
I don't think so.
This has to be Quake. This has to be Quake.
It has to be.
It has to be. I stand corrected.
Oh, I can't believe the scene.
But he's got to check the pedestal first. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Oh, g3rd0, you're putting
Furaime,
in a pedestal check.
Go north. Go north. He's going north.
He's going. Oh man.
Oh,
he's blind pulling as well. Ah, what is happening?
This is gonna come down. Dude, this could come down to a G-Tower gamble. Assuming T-Rock plays out, the same for both players. This is incredibly close all of a sudden.
No, g3rd0. Oh no, wait.
He's going to the big chest.
He's going to the big chest.
So g3rd0's got a little bit of time, because Quake has to be there. If Quake's not there, then you have to talk to some people, talk to people behind the scenes, and figure out what's going on.
Aren't you one of the people behind the scenes?
We don't know.
All right, here we go. We're gonna see another pretty bomb jump here.
Oh man, if Furaime gets the big key and just bails on Mothula.
Oh, this could be huge.
And
there we go. Oh man.
What? Okay, good. I can relax now. Nothing's broken. Alright, Furaime, go to big chest. They're going. Oh man. Furaime knows that the pedestal's not required. It doesn't have the items, so the prospect of killing Mothula is just less valuable than checking the big chest. This came down. What is happening?
I am speechless. I really don't know what to say anymore at this point.
How do you skip left side of swamp and still only end up being like 30 seconds behind, maybe a minute behind?
You left those Titansmiths for so long, and it almost doesn't matter here in the end.
I guess just skipping the blacksmiths and purple chests, that did cost g3rd0 a lot of time, but I think that was going to cost him that much time.
No, definitely not. I mean, he also skipped out on the Mothula fight, and no matter how quick g3rd0 fought him, it still cost more time than just grabbing that big key straight away and then going straight back to the big chest.
And I guess, fluting to buy potions for Ice Palace, that's a little bit extra time. Now, g3rd0 does have a sword advantage, which is going to help out a little bit. It's going to help him retain his lead for a little bit longer, but this could easily come down to a Ganon fight, G-Tower big key gamble, different G-Tower routing, or just, I don't know, we'll find out. Stay tuned.
Yeah, this is definitely close enough to be a race again. We were a little, early with our calls maybe, but it definitely didn't look good for Furaime at all. And suddenly, it's looking like this is going to be a real close race.
It's crazy. Never count yourselves out. Some people will make one mistake. They're like, it's over. I forfeit and just drop out. Of course, not so much an attorney race, but just in general. It's not over till it's over. Now, had this been a weekly with 50 people playing, I'd say about 25 people would already be done, but...
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, if you're in tournament race, as I was saying earlier, both of these guys got to be looking at their IRC right now and just not understand what is happening to their opponent.
Alright, now we just... Oh, Furaime, please. They forgot to do the medallion.
Aw, thought he opened it already.
Don't have time for this. I love that, like, 1 second of just like, what? Oh, wow, half magic in T-Rock. I mean, might as well.
Yeah, very convenient find here.
Also worth pointing out, once g3rd0 finishes T-Rock, we will have a full tracker on g3rd0's side.
Yeah, and, even the Aga 1 is marked off.
It's very satisfying to look at. It's very nice.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen a completely full tracker like that before.
And especially because g3rd0 has Mirror Shield and Gold Sword as well, so both boomerangs. We just need one more bottle. We got to find that 4th bottle, and then we're in.
Yeah, he somehow managed to skip out on... If he skipped out on anything, it was a whole lot of arrow and bomb upgrades.
Yeah, sometimes you get those seeds where you have to full clear 9 dungeons and then go mode 1. And you gotta be feeling behind, but yeah, that, late Fire Rod, and who expects you to go back to Skull Woods, which, both players at the time had already gone to Skull Woods prior to getting the Fire Rod, so it's a hard gamble to make to go back into a Pendant Dungeon when you have all of Ice Palace.
Vanilla Big Key in Turtle Rock. I do hope g3rd0 learned from his mistakes yesterday. He decided to skip the big chest yesterday and was short a key, of course.
Oof, that's rough.
But yeah, if the big key is in there, it's kind of hard to do that gamble anyway, so...
Yeah, and at this point, you gotta expect these turny nerves are kicking in at this... They gotta be. These guys both gotta be super nervous. So we might see a little bit of flubs, unless, they're professionals. They can keep it together. No Ganon falls, no Ganon deaths.
No running out of magic.
Should be a little hard with that to run out of magic with that half magic, thankfully, but stranger things.
Yeah, as you were saying, it's not over till it's over.
So yeah, the only overworld chest we're not going to see is going to be that Mimic Cave, but at this point, you'd be foolish to go and check that.
Yeah, it can really... What can it have? Arrow, bomb upgrades, and a piece of heart, maybe? Maybe a heart container if you're lucky?
Or the last bottle, potentially.
No, yeah. I mean, if it's a free blue goo, probably still not worth the time, but a good thing.
Players like to bring out those B-strats on Ganon, despite the fact that they don't do anything but shine, or get in the way.
And make it real laggy.
Alright, let's see. Mirror Shield in hand for both players, so they'll be able to just walk up and grab a small key. Which chest is it going to be? Chest number 2. Alright. Trinex it is.
Yeah, and this is probably going to be the last boss fight for g3rd0. Well, obviously the last boss fight since it's the last boss he has to kill, but I mean the last boss fight for g3rd0 where his Butter Sword will give him an actual advantage, I'd say.
Well, Landmole is a Moldorm too. Depending on how you fight Landmole, we'll probably see silvers from both players for that.
Yeah, I guess on Moldorm too, that's true. That will probably save some time.
But it's not really that, yeah, it's either two slashes versus a spin and a slash. Or a dash.
And
but we will get to see some backdoor zero cycle strats on Trinex, saving quite a few seconds. And come on, it just looks really nice too.
It definitely does. I'm always fascinated by that.
And there you have it, guys. Trinex is dead. We're about to get our last crystals. You know what time it is. Herfy, do you know what time it is? You know what time it is.
I think I have a vague idea of what time it is, yes.
Would you like to explain this vague idea of what time it is to the beautiful fans?
How about I start the bot first?
There it is. It's on screen.
Jesus.
We got 22 chests for you coming up. One of those chests or locations, it's going to have that G-Tower big key. Which one is it going to be? What do you guys think it's going to be? Herfy, what do you think it's going to be?
As always, I picked number 8. And
generally the fire bar room?
normally the firebar room, but with how many right sides we see lately, it is not the firebar room anymore, really, unfortunately.
Well, with right side, it would be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think it's the second chest in the Stalfos room on the left side. Which it was yesterday, to be fair, so, you know, can't complain, but...
Did you stop the bot?
Yes.
Anyway, moving on. Chest number 3 will be skipped, because nobody does tile room unless they're a map band. Man, this seat had everything. It had full dungeons. It had a blind pedestal pole. It had Aga required. It had...
If this is a big key in tile room, I'm just gonna quit forever, I think.
Mm-hmm. It seems like a fair assessment or fair choice to make. Chest number 3, 50 rupees. Chest number 4, arrow capacity upgrade. Chest number 5 is a 20, big old 20. Chest number 6 is going to be a little heart piece. All right, we continue. Now, will we see a route divergence?
All right, here goes left side.
Furaime, go left, go left, go left, go left, go left.
Yay!
Going left! Item number 7, a bomb upgrade. Since we're still going to go ahead and count it by g3rd0's numbers.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's actually the first chest in the Stalfos room because I forgot about the torch.
It's an easy one to miss. But if it's in here, these guys are going to be neck and neck.
How is this so close?
8, heart piece. 9, bombs. 10, a small key. 11, arrows. All right, as long as Furaime doesn't mirror out and go right side.
Oh, he's going.
Well,
This could be good, or it could be terrible. So now it's really up to chance. Here's a map for g3rd0.
well, Furaime's got to go for the full route all the way to Ice Armos then.
Yeah, he really does.
Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be hard to call it. What chest are we on number now?
We've had...
Coming up is 13,
9, 10,
I think.
11, 12, yeah, this must be 13.
Chest number 13 is going to be... a big 20.
Red rupee.
The biggest of 20s. Coming up next, we got 14, 15, 16, and 17. What's going to be...
Here's the rando room.
And will Furaime go straight for Ice Armos or double back and check the left side? If it's rando room... Okay, hold on. 14 is compass. 15, arrow capacity. 16, 50 rupees. 17, arrows. We're not done yet.
Oh my god!
That towel room is looking a little bit better, and Furaime's going for the play. If it's at Ice Armos or Bob's chest...
Oh, these guys are so close. I don't even know.
What? What are these plays? They are going to be seconds apart from each other.
This is like, as I said, I'm really at a loss for words at this point.
Yeah, same. Chest number 18 is gonna be air capacity upgrade. We're just 3 chests away from a tile room big key. And if it's not there, I doubt Furaime would go for the tile room before going to rando.
Yeah, I will be super surprised.
So Furaime needs it to be down here. Silver arrows on Ice Armos. Make quick work. Furaime just now hitting Ice Armos. Coming up next, chest number 19. Big 20. 20, piece of heart. 21!
Oh, 21! Oh man, so close.
I know you guys wanted the tile room, but holy crap, this is neck and neck, seconds apart. And whoever gets chest number 21, you won. Great job. Anyway. Oh my god. All right. So we still have g3rd0. Oh no!
No, what's happening?
He accidentally veered out.
Oh my god.
And Furaime takes the lead. What? How do you? Oh, dude, it happens. It happens. Oh my god. Now, here's the thing. Furaime doesn't have any magic, and I don't think has any potions to refill magic, so might have to get that safety magic refill, which would put g3rd0 back in the lead, but do you just kind of gamble on it? I don't know.
And
it's kind of nice to have.
At this point, the sword difference might actually make the difference here.
Oh man. This is insane. Furaime's gonna skip it. Just gonna hope and find a magic drop from one of the enemies out along the way.
Yeah, just making the play, hoping for the best. I mean, there is a full magic refill just before Troll Dome too, but...
Oh, and g3rd0 misses the silver arrow. Taking a little bit longer in that one room, but Furaime does the same in the next room.
Oh man.
Alright, Furaime make it through the next room. g3rd0 just about to enter. Gonna get some good RNG from these little dudes. Gonna be able to clear that room a little bit quicker. Furaime having a little bit of trouble taking out the second guy. These guys are like rooms apart. g3rd0 getting a better... they're in the same room!
This is crazy.
Alright, who's got the better land mola? There's so much on the line here. If Furaime wins, it's over. If g3rd0 wins, we go to game 3, and Furaime misses the silver arrow shots, all 3 of them. Oh, just barely sniping the last one. g3rd0 could take the lead right here.
Oh man!
g3rd0 does! The quickest of land mola 2s. Furaime not too far behind, but gonna have to stop and get some magic for these from these pots. Oh, not going for it. Might have enough magic to use the Kata Samaria to clear these Wizard rooms.
It does have at least one use in it. Oh, apparently 2 with half magic.
Half magic does definitely help. Yeah, g3rd0 taking the lead from that land mola play, so this could once again come down to a Moldorn drop.
Oh, the thing here is, though, is Furaime gonna have enough magic for the lamps? Yeah, now he does with that small magic drop. But
yeah, that was a very convenient drop. You know, you want like a full refill, but even like a tiny bit of refill is like nice.
Yeah, especially with half magic, those tiny magic refills, they come in really handy.
These guys are just a couple rooms apart. Furaime might have to go for the magic refill up at the top right and wait for this despawn, this door to close before going up. Yep, there it is. Furaime heading up. Please don't check any chests, just go.
He does have one more key than g3rd0 does, so he doesn't have to kill those mini Helmosaurs. So he's saving him another couple of seconds.
Oh my gosh. Here we go, Moldorn 2. Gold Sword's gonna be nice for this guy.
Ooh,
oh man,
close.
that was so close. He about got bopped. One spin and one slash, and Moldorn 2 is down. Alright. It's all execution from here on out. Who's got the better Aga 2? And Furaime, come on! We don't have time for that. Go to Aga 2, get out of here.
Alright, so g3rd0 entering his Aga 2 fight just as Furaime's walking up the stairs, basically. Let's see what we can make out of this. Oh, almost a triple.
2 for g3rd0.
Oh, this is a beautiful setup. Oh,
that was
might
a
have been
triple.
a little too close.
I think.
Oh, nicely done.
Furaime only getting 1 on the first phase, so missing the 2. Oh, and only getting 1 again.
That is bad news.
Barely off, yeah.
On the blue ball in this one, oh, that sucks.
There, so just get a 2 here, and then it won't be too bad.
Phew.
All right,
okay.
there we go. So it's a 3 cycle versus a 4 cycle, so I think something like that. But you know that at this point, that is enough. That is a game setter right there. All right, g3rd0, moment of truth. Face your fears.
Alright, Gerdo, let's ace this out.
Yeah, this gold sword is going to it's going to make a difference if Furaime can't get the one cycles on the first 2 phases.
Oh, I love those dash threads.
They're so great. I love using them. Hook shot into freedom. Gerdo into phase 3 while Furaime just about to start phase 1. Furaime missing the double. Probably going to have to do 2 phases and... Yeah, missing the 1 cycle. That's it. That's got to be it. Gerdo's got to, like, fall or something. It's over.
Oh, man, and these guys just barely over 2 hours.
That's 1 silver. Getting the torch glitch. Is that a triple? That could be a triple.
Oh,
just
almost. Barely. There's the last one.
And the big pig is dead. Oh... What a wild ride. Furaime just now in phase 3, about to get into phase 4, but Gerdo taking the win. We got a game 3, guys. I'm sorry for shouting, but that was the craziest match I think I've ever got to commentate.
Yeah, that was absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, my heart. My heart. One more silver for Furaime, and the big pig is down as well for them. Oh my gosh. The fact that it ended up this close, even with a left side skip. Jeez. Gerdo finishing with a time of 2 hours and 46 seconds, while Furaime finishes with a time of 2 hours, 1 minute, 18 seconds, roughly a 30-second difference. How about that?
I'm still got him. That's what the driver says. Oh man, what a troll!
Oh man, so like at this point, you're thinking to yourself like, it came down to like a bad land mola or missing opening up the T-Rock port or door entrance the first time, or even Gerdo like mirroring out all these tiny mistakes. But you got to look at the whole race in its entirety, not just like the last thing that made the big difference. This seed could have played out completely different. This could have been an entirely different race to watch, but it came down to a 30-second difference after all that. And now we get to be graced with a game 3 between these two amazing runners. Wow, that was an amazing watch.
It was really amazing to watch, and really crazy how incredibly close it got at the end. And I just want to point out that Gerdo and IRC said, well, no, we both threw a game.
Oh, man. What a heartbreaker.
Yeah, we got Furaime in chat here answering your questions. Sadly, not going to give an interview afterwards, but we're waiting on Gerdo currently. He's got to do some setup work before he can get his Discord to work, so we should be getting him in here soon-ish.
So yeah, let's pull him right in. I want to hear his beautiful voice. Welcome, Gerdo. Congratulations on that ridiculous race.
Thanks.
GG, man. I don't even know what to say.
You were in the lead for like pretty much the entire race. Except when you lost the lead when you mirrored out of the gauntlet.
Yeah, the classic NMG mistake.
Yeah, it was that close though. The biggest issue was Furaime skipping left side, missing the Titan mitts, but then just making the right choices down the line, skipping blacksmiths. Had already checked the pedestal, so skipped fighting Mothula, and went left, did the Dark Magician route in G Tower, and then went full right all the way to Ice Armor, so skipping Rando Room. So all these like tiny things that just made this race really close, and you could call it what you want, but like I gotta say that gold sword came into play, so that was a nice find from Catfish. And
did it?
Yeah,
on Ganon definitely, and yeah, on Ganon I would say. And also on Trinex, since you could backdoor zero cycle him, which Furaime couldn't.
Furaime did not get the one cycle on the first phase of
it's-
Ganon. Missed the spin. Well, got the spin, but missed the double hit. So, but yeah, crazy race, and I'm sure you're feeling relieved now that it's over.
Yeah. Over 2 hours in the top 16 shouldn't happen normally, but this seed just didn't want us to finish fast.
That Quake location was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. I only had Ether tablet left after that, so it had to be there or on Ether.
I think Ether was 50 rupees or 100 rupees. So the only thing we didn't ever see was Mimic Cave was the only thing, but at that point we were in go mode, so there was no reason to see it. But so wins game 3. If it's gonna be like the two races so far, like please soon.
Yeah, I gotta get back in on this.
Yeah, I think it's on Saturday. We haven't scheduled yet, but we said that it's most likely going to be on Saturday because he can't do tomorrow. And neither can I actually, so.
Sounds good. Well, we definitely look forward to it. Congratulations to both of you guys on finishing a ridiculous seed. That was brutal. A forced pod double dip, aggro required. You had to go into every single dungeon. You had to kill 9 bosses. The only one you didn't have to kill... Oh, no. You only had to kill 8 bosses, because Mothula and Moldor weren't required by the logic, so... But yeah. Herfy, got anything for Gerda?
No, not really. I mean, Gerda, do you plan on rewatching the match? Do you usually do that, rewatch your matches, or are you done with it and then you don't ever rewatch?
I usually rewatch them.
Okay, then I don't really want to spoil anything, but the lead changes in Ganon's tower were absolutely breaking our heads.
Yeah, he told me that he 3 or 4 cycled Landmos.
Yeah, that's exactly
so I guess
where
that
you...
was pretty big.
That's exactly where you got your lead back from losing it from mirroring out in the beginning. And he also had a little bit of trouble with Aga too.
Yeah, well, it was a difference between a 3 cycle and a 4 cycle. But, every second counts when you guys are neck and neck going up the gauntlet, so...
Oh, and since people are posting the clip in chat right now, I definitely want to give you a shout out on your beautiful Mothula fight. That was like a 5-second long fight, maybe?
Yeah, I got a lucky double hit in the beginning, and then he just went down twice.
Yeah, I don't think the spikes even started moving. I don't think I've seen that before.
I think only one spike despawned, so one was like just about to move. But yeah, that was a wild race. So thank you for giving us a wild race to watch. Look forward to seeing the next one between you two guys.
Yeah, absolutely, and GG, and obviously good luck on the game number 3. And if you guys enjoyed what you saw from these two runners, and how could you not have with that seed and the play that we just saw, please make sure to throw them a follow. They deserve all the support they can get, and I'm sure they will appreciate it. So make sure to follow these guys.
And I'll make sure to get both of them on restreamed on the daily races sometime soon, because we like seeing hype like that. And it was a great, despite it being a 2-hour seed, everything was there was really no big errors except for just gambles that didn't work out. But yeah, congratulations, GG, and we look forward to the next one. Thank you, Gerda. Any last words?
Nope.
Any final thoughts?
Nope.
Anything you'd like to say to your opponent before game 3?
Good luck, have fun.
There you have it, everyone.
Oh, how nice. How un-German of you.
Well, Herfy, if I recall, we got some other stuff going on today. We got a little bit of a time gap between the next set of events. But it's been a pleasure commentating with you as always. We don't get to do it often, but when we do it right.
Yeah, right back at you. I'm always looking forward to commentating with you. I hope the watchers also enjoyed it.
The watchers.
The viewers.
Sounds like a thriller movie.
Yes, you know.
Coming up next on Speed Gaming, we have a Mario Odyssey race. Well, actually, let me refresh the schedule real quick just to double check. Yes, we have Super Mario Odyssey on here and on Speed Gaming 2. 2 different races starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then over on Speed Gaming 3, we have a Mega Man 1 race at 6:30. So go check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, make sure to, support Speed Gaming, everyone who's involved in whichever way you can. And, well, we'll see you in the next one.
Yep, it was a pleasure. You guys have a good night, and we'll be seeing you soon.